Yo, what is up everybody? It is Chimpso here. I just wanted to make a quick little video talking about the Season 6 changes, or more specifically the Season 6 changes that are relevant to Singed and Proxying, because the season has brought about some changes, and not all of them are good for the old Proxy Singed. Now, I want to apologize for not making as many videos recently. I'm currently undertaking full-time study, and will be doing so until the end of next week. So, which means I'm pretty damn busy. I have quite a long commute to where I'm studying and quite a long commute back, as well as the 9 hours I'm spending there. So I don't really have much time to play and theorize. But luckily, I got quite a bit done before I went in. So it'll be a bit slow for the next week and a half or so, but I will get back into it. Don't you worry about that. So. Changes for Singed, or relevant changes for Singed in the preseason. So first of all, let's go into the runes. Nothing has changed here. There have been no rune changes during the preseason so far. So the old rune page of Armor Yellows, Hybrid Penetration Marks, Move Speed Quints, and Ability Power Glyphs are just fine for this season. Now, maybe I'll make some tweaks to this later on if I discover that something else works with the new setup I'm using. But for now, this is fine. The old rune page is fine. Now, Masteries. For those of you who don't know, the Mastery system has been changed. Basically, in each tree, you put 5 points into abilities that are basically like old Masteries. They just give small bonuses. And then you can put one into a slightly more significant bonus. So 5 points into one of these, or, between them if you like, and 1 point into here. 5 points, 1 point. 5 points, and then you get to pick what's called a Keystone Mastery, which is a significant, it's a significant buff, or it's a significant ability that's a very powerful mastery, and will definitely affect how you play that champion. So, let's go over, from left to right here, the Cunning Tree. Now, we don't want to take anything from this tree here. I initially thought it would be a good idea, but Johnny Holmes, I discussed this. If you don't know who Johnny Holmes is, check him out. Big Proxy Singe guy, better than me, definitely. But we discussed this quite a bit in depth on Reddit, and he basically said the Ferocity Tree, not really worth it. Feast restores 20 health on a 20-second cooldown after killing a unit, not that good. And this gives increased ability and spell damage, but early on and even later on, it's not going to be that good. This is more for mages who stack a lot of AP, so Singed is not that. So I wouldn't really go for anything from this tree. Instead, you want to start off here in the Cunning Tree. Now, you want to put 5 points into Wanderer, which gives you 3% movement speed out of combat. So this is much like the Fleet of Foot Mastery that was in the Utility Tree last season. That gave 1.5 movement speed. Difference is that gave 1.5 movement speed at all times, 1.5% movement speed. This only gives you 3% movement speed, but only when you're out of combat. So you're actually slower while you're in combat, but you're faster out of combat. Next, you want to take Secret Stash. This is very important. Your potions, flasks, and elixirs will last 10% longer. And additionally, your potions are replaced with biscuits that restore 20 health and 10 mana. Now, since you cannot have two different types of potions, so you cannot build the new potion that we'll be building, which is the, what's it called? Elixir of Corruption, something. But it's the Corruption Potion, I'll just call it. If you build a Corruption Potion, you cannot buy just normal health potions along with it. You have to sell it to buy health potions, which is obviously not worth it. So the Biscuit Mastery isn't very useful, but the 10% longer duration is definitely good, and I'll talk about that when I get into some gameplay. Next, you want to take Merciless, 5% increased damage to champions below 40% health. Yeah, you can take Meditation, which gives you increased mana regeneration based on your missing mana, but you don't build enough mana on Singe for that to be effective, so I wouldn't recommend it. And then you want to go Dangerous Game, which is going to give you 5% of your HP back on a champion kill or assist. It's simply better than going for the Bandit Mastery, so go for that one. Now, Resolve Tree, the most important tree. This is basically the defense tree. So think of the trees like, this is offense, this is utility, and this is defense. So we're going to take Recovery, which is 2 health regen per 5 seconds, but you can also take Unyielding if you want. This will give you bonus armor and magic resist, a flat % bonus. But yeah, that's not very effective early game. You can go this if you want. This is honestly personal preference. Either of these work. Next, you want to go Explorer or Tough Skin. Tough Skin, you take 2 less damage from champion and monster basic attack, so that's useful, no doubt. But I honestly prefer this, because if you're proxying, having movement speed in brush and river is very useful since you'll often be running through brush while you're trying to escape people in the jungle. Next, you want to go for 5 points in Veteran Scars for 4% total health. This runic armor here simply gives a bonus to shields and healing, but I don't really think that's too worth it. It's much better to go for Veteran Scars. You might think this might be a good idea because of the Keystone Mastery we picked, but the Keystone Mastery works on your max HP. So the more max HP you have, the more health you get from that, but we'll get to that when we get there. Now, big change. Insight is now in the defensive tree, or the resolve tree. Insight reduces the summoner spell cooldown by 15%. This is now in the defense tree. That is awesome. So obviously, you're going to take that. Fuck this, you know, increased health regen, fuck that. Go for 15% reduced cooldown reduction. Reduced cooldown reduction. Doesn't make any sense. Reduced summoner spell cooldown. Definitely want that. One of the changes in the preseason is teleport no longer has a shorter cooldown when teleporting to towers. But with this mastery, teleport will be on a 255 second cooldown as opposed to a 300 second cooldown. So definitely take this. And it reduces the cooldown of your ghost as well. Next, you've got Swiftness and Legendary Guardian. Legendary Guardian's unchanged from the last season. Well, I'm sure the numbers have been tweaked, but the principle is the same. It gives you armor and magic resist for each nearby champion. Good, but it's much better to have Tenacity and Slow Resist on Singed. Now, this Tenacity, I'm pretty sure, stacks multiplicatively with Mercury Treads. But thing is, Mercury Treads have been nerfed. They're 100 gold cheaper, but they give 15% less Tenacity. So Merc Treads are not that good anymore, and I'll explain why definitively when we get into the gameplay. But yeah, go for this, Tenacity and Slow Resist, your Singe, you need that. Now for the Keystone Mastery, you have several options. One of them here gives you max HP for killing siege minions and monsters. So that's decent for Singed, but not ideal. Bond of Stone is very contingent on team fighting. Not good for 1v1s at all. It gives you just a flat % damage reduction. When you're in an ally, it's doubled to 8%. And 8% of the damage that they take is dealt to you instead. And it cannot reduce you below 15% health. So good for team fighting, but not good for 1v1s, which you'll often be doing as Singed. This is what you want. Grasp of the Undying. Every 4 seconds in combat, your next attack against an enemy champion steals life equal to 3% of your max HP, which is half a ranged champion's. Now, it says your next attack against an enemy champion. What it's referring to is auto attacks. It does not work on your poison. So what you can do is you can, charge up this in a minion wave. You can run into a minion wave, poison a minion, get 4 seconds of combat in on that, and then go up and smack an enemy and get a bunch of HP back while doing additional damage to them. So that's what you want, and it's also a good argument for building Spirit Visage now on Singe. Before, Spirit Visage, pretty useless. Now, it's actually definitely a good contender. Banshee's Veil is not useless. Banshee's Veil is definitely still very good, but now you have to make a choice. Do I want Banshee's Veil to block spells, or do I not really need that, and I can go for this right here to get more heals. But anyways, let's get into the gameplay, and I'll show you my new theory for proxying. So, this is just my new theory that I've come up with in a couple of games of playtesting, and I'll explain some of the problems that you will now face, because proxying is more difficult now. So, let's get into it, and I'll show you how it's done. So, loading up a custom game here. Just a couple of things that I need to explain before we get into actually proxying. First, the time that minions have spawned has now changed. They now spawn at 1:15 instead of 1:30, so keep that in mind. Now, starting on for our proxy, we will be going a Corrupting Potion and the Warding Totem. Now, Corrupting Potion is basically the new flask. Gives health and mana over 12 seconds, But during this time, it's your attacks apply a burn damage to enemies. So while this is ticking, your attacks will do additional damage. It's half for area effect and damage over time spell, so your poison is only doing half of that, 15 magic damage at the moment. But that damage goes up with level. You want to go the warding totem, because that's what you always go. New warding totem now stores 2 wards. You only get 1 at the start though, and that's what makes the proxying very difficult. Notice that we do not have any other wards, and this is going to be a very big problem. But let me explain to you what I do. So this ward will last 60 seconds at level 1. That is an issue, because we cannot proxy 3 waves in 60 seconds. So, my revised theory is to proxy only 2 waves. It is way too risky to proxy 3 waves, because you will not have wards. And you cannot proxy 3 waves without sustain. So unless you want to do like some bizarre potion start where you just start regular potions, it's not really going to work out. And you need this for lane. It's very, very good for lane. Now, problems. Another problem here, and probably the most significant issue. Minions will no longer follow you into the jungle. They will follow you a short distance, then they will stop. Take a look here. See? They back off. I have to chase after them. They will not follow you into the jungle anymore. This is a huge issue. It is a massive issue. You can no longer kite the minions down here and take minimal damage while killing them. You cannot do that. If somebody comes to stop your proxy, you cannot run the minions around here and kite them around. You have to just disengage the proxy. So that is a big issue, and it's one of the reasons... Oh, shit. See, and if you take a tower shot, it's even more difficult. But look how much damage I've taken just from 2 waves here. Even if you don't count that tower shot, this is way more damage I should normally take. And my ward is about to die. So, I'm going to take a 3rd wave here just to show you what happens. But what I should do right now, as a matter of fact, actually no, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to execute. I'm going to execute right here. I have no wards. Jungler could easily kill me during the 3rd wave when they normally come. So I'm going to execute myself. And I'm going to just walk back to the lane. I'll explain why in a second. But Chimpso, why bother even going for the proxy now? You can't buy anything significant with 300 gold. Actually, you can. Boots are now 300 gold. They've just been buffed. They now cost less gold, same movement speed, they cost 300 gold. So, a lot of the time, when you die, or when you execute yourself, you will not have enough gold. You have like 270 gold. By the time you respawn, you have like 290. You just have to wait about 5 more seconds, and then you can come back to lane. Now, cannot buy potions, as you can see. It's just, there's a mocked out. I can't buy them when I have a corrupting potion. So, I only have this in lane. Now, what will I buy after that? So, I have my boots. You can also buy cloth armor in this situation if, you know, it's Riven top and Elysian jungle and you just don't want to die. Definitely go cloth armor. You can do that. But apart from that, boots will be your go-to most of the time. Old school Proxy Singe right here. So, why do I not teleport back to lane? Now, the reason... It used to be a judgment call, like, do I teleport back to lane, or do I not teleport back to lane after my 3-wave proxy? Because, yeah, if they're tanking the minions, I can put some pressure on them. Watch this right here. Now, it works a little bit. They follow a little bit, but then they will back off. Here, they follow longer. I don't know why. But it's a judgment call. Would I go back in? Can I pressure them? Now, just do not teleport back to lane at level 1. Sorry, after the level 2 proxy. What you can do is if they're at the tower, you can teleport to the tower and you can go for a proxy, but I do not recommend that. Remember that there's no downside to not teleporting to your tower now that the cooldown has, the cooldown, it doesn't have a reduced cooldown. So you can do that, but point is, the enemy jungler is going to be here, right? So let's say Elysian has just finished his red buff, right now. I've been proxying, I executed after the 2nd wave, so he doesn't come for me, he goes straight to his red buff, starts doing his red buff. I come back up, teleport back to lane, and I'm over here. Elysian's going to be like, ooh, I want myself a piece of that singed, and he's going to come right for me. So I'm just going to walk back. I got boots, I'm fast enough to walk back, and if I didn't, I'm fast enough to walk back. The minion's going to be here, my opponent's going to be last hitting or pushing, so by the time I get back, wave's probably going to be around here. I can just intercept it and basically get the wave for free. I'll lose 1 or 2 CS, that's fine. So, there you go. Now, what do you buy afterwards, Chimpso? What are my new items? Have the items changed at all? First of all, main items for Singed have not changed. Rylai's still core, Liandry's still very good, Dead Man's Plate still very good. The problem is, Rylai's and Liandry's now cost more gold. They both each cost 200 more gold respectively, And Dead Man's Plate now costs 50 more gold. So basically the standard AP Bruiser build, which, you know, Rylai's, Leandry's, Dead Man's Plate, or, you know, Rylai's, Dead Man's Plate, Leandry's, whatever, that now costs 450 gold more, which is not good. But, one positive thing, Boots of Swiftness. If we look here, should not be trying to farm while doing this, I'll just disengage the farm. Boots of Swiftness, now 800 gold, as opposed to 1,000 gold, so they're 200 gold cheaper, and they provide 5 more movement speed. That is a really big change. They are 200, that's huge, 200 gold cheaper. I would now basically go these most of the time, and the reason why is because Mercury Treads, nerfed. Now it only gives 20% tenacity. Yeah, not good. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it stacks multiplicatively with the 15% you'll get from the Resolve Tree. So you're getting like, what? I don't know the math, but probably like under 30 tenacity, like high 20s maybe. You're not getting much tenacity overall. So I'd much rather just keep the 15% that I get from my Resolve Tree and just go for Boots of Swiftness. It's a much better option now on Singed. Obviously, keep an eye out for Ninja Tabi. You know, if the enemy has a very AD focused team, you can definitely go for that Ninja Tabi. But you want to be getting Swiftness boots most of the time now. Now, let's say I have, I don't know, 800 gold, or hell, even 400 gold, I'd be forced out of lane. What do I buy? You're going to buy these things right here. The Dark Seal. If you got enough money for 2 of them, buy 2 of them. Now, these are going to be your replacements for Doran's Rings. There is no reason to buy Doran's Rings on Singe anymore. They're not bad, like they still work. These are just better. So let's go over what these do. They give 15 ability power, same as Doran's Ring. They give 25% additional healing from potions. This is not a unique passive. Having 2 of these means that your Corrupting Potion will be 50% more effective, which means that each charge will heal for 225 HP. Each charge. It doesn't increase the duration, so you will not have an increased duration to be able to do more damage with it with its passive ability. But, oh sorry, with the active. But it does increase the healing by 75 if you buy 2 of them. And by, you know, 37.5 if you have 1 for each charge. So overall, you could be looking at a lot of extra healing with 2 Dark Seals. Now, another thing they give, 100 mana. This is very good for Singed. This, you know, Doran's Rings would give you mana sustain in the past. This also gives you mana. Doesn't give you mana sustain, doesn't give you, you know, mana regen or getting mana back from killing units, but you get 100 mana, which also translates with Singed passive to 25 HP. So, let's compare this to Doran's Ring. Doran's Ring and Dark Seal both give 15 ability power, in addition to the Dark Seal passive, which I will get to because it is awesome. Dark Seal gives 25% healing from potions, Doran's Ring does not. Doran's Ring gives mana regen and mana regen from killing units, which Dark Seal does not. So honestly, for purely mana, Doran's Rings are probably better, but that's not the focus at all for your decision in buying these. And the passive for Dark Seal, this is good. It's like a mini Medjai's. This is the item that builds into Medjai's, but you won't be building it into Medjai's unless you've got, you know, unless you're ridiculously fed and you just got 5 kills by 10 minutes, then you can go into Medjai's. But you'd just be selling these like Doran's Rings most of the time. Basically, you get a kill where you have one of these, or at least one of these. They're unique passive, so they don't stack. You will get 3 ability power per glory, as it's called. You will get 2 glory for a champion kill, or 1 glory for an assist, up to 10 glory total. So you can have 30 bonus ability power in a 400 gold item, just by getting kills. Obviously, yeah, you lose it on death, and you do lose it on execute as well, so keep that in mind. Executes will decrease your glory. But this basically just helps you snowball. If you're in a snowball position, Singe snowballing is, like, scary. It's Singe snowballing, something is wrong, and it's difficult to control him. This makes it even more difficult. But the main thing that you want to look at for these is the increased healing from those potions. That is bloody excellent. Like I said, it does not increase duration, so you will not be doing more damage. Oh, by the way, the bonus damage only works on champions. It does not work on minions. You will not be getting, you know, extra duration for that damage, and you won't be getting extra mana either, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it only works for healing. But you will be getting a lot more HP from it. Now, what was I going to say? That's the train of thought just flying from my head right there. Fuck, what was I going to say? Something about the HP it gives, or what? I don't know, but the point is, you want to manage your flask a bit better now. You want to try and use it while you are fighting. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. Yes, the Mastery. Let me show you how the Grasp of the Undying Keystone Mastery works. So, currently there's nothing on my toolbar here. Let's get into a fight. Let's just hit a minion. Okay, I'm in combat now. Right, I'm in combat. Alright. I gotta continue to do damage to keep it. Now, it's this green icon here. Now, I need to auto-attack a champion, and I will steal health from them, and I will get health back. And as you can see here, it's max HP. You can actually hit tab, and you'll see everybody's Keystone Mastery, ally or enemy. You can hit tab, and you can see, alright, I'll get 40.37 health back at the moment. So, keep that in mind. But yeah, those are the items you want to go. You want to start this, and a warding totem. You want to ward this. When minions spawn, run down here, take 2 waves, don't go 3, it is too risky now. Go back, get either boots or cloth armor. Most of the time boots, but cloth armor if you need some extra armor against a lane opponent. Maybe you're up against a Jace who's going to smash you around, so you want to get that. But apart from that, execute after the second wave. Too risky with no wards. Unless you, like, if you see the enemy jungler down here, and the enemy laner is fucking over here, still frolicking with the minions at the tower, then okay, maybe go for another wave. Just be very mindful that the enemy laner could come for you. But the point is, 3 waves is probably dead. 4 waves is definitely dead. There's no way you're getting a 4-wave proxy now. I've tried everything. I've tried kiting minions around here to get them here. It leaves you at too much of a risk here. I've tried doing weird starts like Ruby Crystal and Ward. No sustain kills you. You can do some things like starting a whole bunch of potions and Ward. But then you don't have a flask for when you get back to lane. And this is just so good for lane. Especially with the damage that it does. This is, in my opinion, the best way to go. Now, you might disagree. Put your opinions in the description below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. But anyways, I've showed you what on this side. I'm going to show you what on this side as well, just because I know that some people are going to ask. Alright, so here we are on Proxying from blue side. Now, out of habit, I just placed my ward here. Preemptively. Don't place it this early. Place it as soon as you hear minions have spawned. Once you hear minions have spawned, drop the ward, and then go proxy. So yeah, that was a mistake, but ward in the exact same spot as you would before, and you will go for the 2-wave proxy here. But yeah, I'll just show you how to do it on this side. Once again, the main hindrance is you cannot kite them into the jungle. That is huge. That hurts so much. And you do not have that extra ward. So, yeah, I mean, that's about it, guys. Thank you all for watching. I will hopefully have a gameplay with these new changes on the weekend. I played a couple of games with these new changes. Did pretty damn well in both, but only myself and my jungler did well, and the rest of the team fed, so we did lose both, but it works pretty well. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about it, what you think, what strategies you have. But yeah, 3-wave proxy, guys, way too risky now. I would not recommend doing it. The ward up there, it's died already because I placed it down early, but it would be dying like around now. So imagine you have no ward now and you have to proxy another wave. How often does a jungler come to you while you're doing the 3rd wave? Quite often. So yeah, I would not go for a 3rd. Like, if right now I saw Lee Sin down there ganking my bot lane and Riven stuck here at her tower trying to get that wave, and I can see them both, and mid lane is not missing, okay, I'll go for a 3rd wave right now. It's very difficult to do right here, as you can see, because you cannot kite them into the jungle. You do not have enough sustain to actually get the wave. I would try to go for a 3rd wave, probably, but it's still not recommended. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Good luck in the new season. Once again, leave your thoughts and comments below. I want to hear what you have to say, what ideas you have, because for once, I'm sort of newbie. This is open to discussion. These aren't set in stone. I'll probably have a new theory by next week. But apart from that, I'll catch you all next time. Hopefully, probably not the next video I make will be with the new changes, because I have some old footage that some old gameplay footage that I do want to release. But yeah, hopefully on the weekend I will have a game for you with the new changes. But apart from that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Good luck in Season 6. And have a lovely day, Mr. G-Bay.